Ah! When Bella heard this, she was desperate. She has been spoiled for so many years, and she has to spend hundreds of thousands every month. If there is nothing left at once, then life is really better than death. Shui Xinlong's wife also looked desperate when she heard this. She also didn't want to abandon her billions of wealth and live a life of poverty and vain. In that case, she would be killed. So she hugged her daughter and choked, quietly, "Orville and President Isaac are both people that our family cannot afford. For the life of our family, or you will marry that old Sun Dewang." "Right." As she said, she whispered again, "And your belly can't be hidden for long, at most 1 or 2 months. If you can't find anyone to get married in these 2 months, it's really over." "Yeah," Shui Xinlong said hurriedly. "Marrying Sun Dewang is just a way of slowing down. After a while, after the limelight passes, we can divorce him." When Bella heard this, she gritted her teeth and agreed, choked up. "There is no other better way. So let's get the certificate from him first." Here, in order to let Charlie spare her, Shu Licken knelt on the ground and knocked Charlie's head, but Charlie still didn't buy her account. Charlie knows how such a person is. This Shu Licken is simply an old beast, even more devil than his mother-in-law Elaine. Although Elaine always wanted his wife Claire to marry a rich man, she never thought of letting his wife marry a man with children. This Shu Licken, for the 50 million dowry, even let her son go to a black man whom she had never met before. It was simply shameless. So Charlie is also very clear that her current confession is not from the heart at all, but is forced by the current situation. Such a woman, once she was given a chance to come back, she would only become worse towards Isabella. So Charlie wanted to give her a one-step solution. Divorce Sun Dewang and never return to Orus Hill again. On the side, Sun Dewang is full of mixed flavors. He looked at his wife Shu Licken and cried to death on the ground several times. But the young man named Wade was still completely unmoved. It seems that it is impossible for him to take his life back. In this way, he can only obediently marry the daughter of Mr. Shui. But when you think about it, this really isn't a bad thing. Although Shu Licken has been with him for many years, after all, he has no feeling for her anymore. Although Mr. Shui's daughter is not beautiful, she is at least young. For people his age, young is more than anything else. Subsequently, Orville took Abner and several other younger brothers, directly preparing to press Sun Dewang, Shu Licken, and Shui Xinlong's daughter Bella to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to handle divorce and marriage procedures. Although Cardin wanted to stop all of this, he knew he didn't have this ability, so he could only be forced to accept it. Just as he watched his crying mother and a few strong men pulling into the car, he couldn't help shed 2 lines of tears. Charlie looked at him at this time, and said lightly, "You and Isabella shouldn't get a marriage certificate yet, right?" Cardin hurriedly nodded respectfully. "Not yet, the family has always disagreed before, insisting that we have to wait until the wedding is over before we talk about getting the certificate." Charlie waved his hand and said, "That's right, you and Isabella should also go get the marriage certificate by the way, and when you finish getting the certificate, come back for the wedding together." Cardin's expression is somewhat embarrassing. "We are going to have a wedding together. Isn't it necessary to have a wedding with my father, my stepmother, and 2 new couples?" Seeing him hesitate, Charlie asked back, "Isabella has completely broken off with her family for you. Shouldn't you get the marriage certificate quickly so that she can rest assured?" When Cardin heard this, he didn't dare to untangle anymore. He immediately agreed and blurted out, "Okay, Mr. Wade, then we too will follow along and get the marriage certificate." "That's the truth." Charlie nodded in satisfaction and said, "Okay, hurry up with her, come back as soon as you are done. I'm still waiting for a wedding drink." Seeing that Mr. Orville was about to take these people to the Civil Affairs Bureau, Isaac asked Charlie, "Mr. Wade, should I follow along and have a look?" Charlie waved his hand and said lightly, "You don't need to go, just wait for a drink with Xie with me here." Claire, who was next to him, didn't speak for a while. Seeing that everyone was taken away, he couldn't help but ask Charlie, "Charlie, we are here to attend the wedding between Isabella and the Cardin. What about his dad? Isn't it a bit inappropriate?" Charlie smiled and asked her, "Wife, what do you think is appropriate? If you don't let Shu Licken get out of the Sun's family today, If you don't give the sun some color today, you think your high school classmate married into the sun's family. Will she have a good life afterwards? Claire was silent for a moment and nodded gently. She knew that Charlie was right. If this problem cannot be solved fundamentally, then with Shu Liqin's behavior style, Isabella will definitely suffer in the future. At that time, she couldn't help Isabella anymore, so it's better to let Charlie solve the problem once and for all. At this point, she couldn't help sighing and said, I just don't know if Carden will hate us. Charlie said lightly, I helped him so much. If he hates me, then this person is really hopeless. Having said that, Charlie waved his hand again and said with a smile, Okay, let's go in first and wait. When they finish these trivial matters, the wedding should almost begin. Orus Hill Civil Affairs Bureau.